So it's that time again. No new art conquests, no new map, nothing interesting to play the game for. So now I actually need to think about my next video, right? What do you take me for? I'm a content creator, for crying out loud. None of my ideas are original. So today we'll be throwing everything relating to theory crafting on meta out the window, and we'll build a Dehya team from scratch and use all of our gameplay flaws to our advantage, and we'll do all of this under a week's time and below 2000 resin. But this isn't gonna be an ordinary building video, not even in the slightest. Welcome to my Rolliverse account, where ordinary DPSs don't get to deal damage, supports don't get to support, and every single character needs to be played a different way than intended. Will things go wrong? Probably, but if there's one thing I learned while doing these types of videos, is the fact that the most ridiculous ideas tend to have the most shocking results. If you like these types of videos, then like the video and subscribe, because it helps more than you can ever imagine. And with that, let's get into it. Before I get into building a team, I need to explain a couple of things. Firstly, why the hell I'm doing this? Well, one of the main goals of the challenge is being every single floor of the Spiral Abyss, and for that you need 2 teams, and so far, you have none. And the only well-built character I can use is Chiori, whom I built pretty recently. And so, the only character I could realistically use of everyone I have is Dehya, which before starting was on a bunch of virgin build and nothing else other than her level and some of her artifacts leveled up to not more than plus 12, so basically we're starting from scratch. But here's the issue: if we commit to making Dehya a DPS, how is she supposed to be built? Well, ever since her release, I've always thought of her as a Pyro Raiden, since they pretty much play the same and have the same ideas for teams. The only thing different about our Pyro Queen over here is that she has some defensive capabilities in her kit. And since we aren't going to do a virgin build, there's only one usable way we can go around building her, and if that wasn't obvious, I'm talking about a 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate and any Claymore variant to what a rider might want to use. We don't have a catch variant for Claymores, unless you count the fish one, but we do have one for the free-to-play choices, and that's the Favonius Greatsword. Not only does it have an ER substat, which is great for Dehya's energy issues and for the 4-piece set, but it also creates particles from time to time, helping our burst generation even more, which means we can focus on damage stats. Okay, now we have the build, but what about the rest of the team? How do we pump up those damage numbers? One of the main issues this account has, and believe me, there are a lot, is the severe lack of sub DPSs. And even if I could use characters like Yelan or Xingqiu or literally anyone else, Dehya has chronic social anxiety when it comes to working with them. That's the main problem with her, at least in my eyes, because the truth is, this isn't the first time I bring her like this, and I can assure you that her numbers are surprisingly good for a standard character and can dish out over 100,000 damage per rotation pretty easily if she's built right. Now I know that doesn't sound too impressive when we have Power Watch Simulator, Horny Jail, Cyberpunk 2077, Shark Grenade, and Gunbrella as characters. But for the time when Dehya is released, that's actually some pretty good damage numbers, and dare I say it still slightly holds up to even today, especially since rotation wear as the main damage dealer are so short. Okay, but is there even a fix to our main problem? Yes, and I thought of it ever since she came out. If traditional sub DPSs don't do the trick, just use others that summon things that deal damage to enemies. Wanna vape? Mona skill, Coconut skill, Ayato's burst, and more recently Furina's Goon Squad. Wanna melt? Layla, Ganyu, and Kaya's burst, Sidlali's and Layla's skills. You get the point. We don't have to limit ourselves to regular sub DPSs when we can think outside the box a little and give other characters a try. So then, who can we use as sub DPS? Nobody currently on this account. Each and every one previously mentioned either wasn't wished for or would mean using their intended role, which is against our rules. But there is hope. You see, when I started this project, the Lyric Chronicle banner was on, and guess who was on it? That's right, the GOAT herself. I debated putting for her with my Discord server, which you should probably join to if you want to be included in videos, and we came to the conclusion that, despite all of the support-oriented talents in your kit, Ganyu is meant to be a DPS, and that Dehya is meant to be a support, helping with sustainability. Why? Fuck if I know, ask Hoyo what they were smoking when they made her. Anyway, that confirms 2 slots, Dehya being the main gal, and Ganyu being the support, sub-DPS and color replicator for melt. That's right, we're making a melt team. And so I put for the GOAT with a few rolls ahead, and I barely got close to pity, and I won the 50-50, which, if you're a regular watcher of the Rolliverse account, shouldn't shock you, but if you're new, don't worry, soon enough you'll see how insane this account is. And as for survivability, the answer is simple. We don't have any dedicated healers or shielders, so who has a different role but can do both of those things? Sure, we can do Chiori or any other Geo character and give him a lot of EM for crystallized shields, but I think I have a better idea. Tank Faye. If you think that all Yanfei is good for his DPS, then you're wrong. Am I saying that because I wasted hundreds of pills to get a C4? Probably. Most likely. definitely. But thankfully it's a surprisingly good healer, albeit with energy issues that are apparent. She can keep us alive relatively well. We also slap a Porta Ember on her, so we can also heal and have a Dongli C6 at home. And so we have 3 of the 4 characters so far. So what about the 4th one? I tried seeing what would work best, and nothing came to mind, so we'll consider this a flex thought. I slept on Kazuha for grouping, but you can slap on anyone you want or need. So we now have the team. 2 of the characters needs to be raised from level 1 to 70, and 3 of them need artifacts, which means we're starting almost from scratch. Let's see how we went. The first thing I needed to do was make the game plan. I don't have a lot of region to work with, and I need to take care of everyone's levels, artifacts, weapons and talents. So I made a checklist and organized my priorities, and the first thing I needed to do was take care of everyone's levels. I wanted everyone integral to the team to be at least ascended to level 70, which is something everyone should do regardless if you're doing this challenge or not, just to have the 4th ascension talents unlocked. And the first one to receive this treatment was Yanfei, which barely took any time at all. Just a couple of days. Her boss wasn't hard at all, and she always crystallizes made it even easier. After this, I stopped giving her any sort of attention and instead focused on more important matters, like Goku Goat and our best child Dehya, and only fair artifacts after getting trash ones from farming, some being for my own stupidity and only realized afterwards I farmed the wrong stuff. But you know what they say, someone's mistake is another one's treasure, just like adopted kid. And after Yanfei comes the next challenge, taking care of Ganyu, which isn't as difficult to work with when compared to Yanfei. The support Ganyu build requires a 4-piece set of Noblesse Noblage, and a fuck ton of VR and some decent quest stats if paired with a fast bow. We ascended and leveled her up to level 70 and gave her little to no attention after that. So that was how the first 2 days went. What comes next requires our full attention, and that is getting artifacts for Dehya and leveling up her talents, which took a surprisingly short amount of time. On the very first day I managed to get a godly flower, Sense, and this feather right here. To say that they rolled badly would be a fucking lie. All 3 of them rolled over 30 CV. And since I already had a good enough goblet, all that was needed was a circlet. If you don't get one, we can just steal the one Yelan has on. No big deal. And after that roller coaster of emotions, I think it's about time we focus on other things. We're done with 2 of the 4 main things we need to do, and just like your toxic axe, you don't want to invest too much, or you'll end up losing more than you started with. So let's take care of the others too, shall we? First thing on the agenda, everyone's talent levels. Everyone except Yanfei. I swear I'm not doing it on purpose. There was the priority, and as you might have guessed, I only leveled up her breast. Why you might ask? Because her skill also increases how much damage she can redirect towards herself, helping with survivability. But there's something we're forgetting. We want strictly DPS there. Not like her skill would have done much either way. Trust me, I tried. And using her skill actually makes everything worse, because there's too much pyro being applied and she can't do reactions properly. I'll include a clip of this Dehya trying to out DPS the other Chino on my main account to showcase what I mean. Oh, and spoiler, she couldn't do it. Second up, Yanfei, because we need protection. All we really need from her is her weapons, just so she has more HP and we can make use of her easier. And of course, not risk anything while doing our business, especially since I tend to make a lot of mistakes. Well, I say that, but it's really everyone's weapons that are raised. First Yanfei's, then Dehya, and after a brain-numbing amount of farming layer, finally Ganyu. And not just that, but we're finally giving the neglected, totally loved kids a happy meal from McDonald's. Kakugo finally got a 4-piece Noblesse set with stats that honestly shocked me at how good they were for such a stupid build. As for Yanfei, she got left behind, as usual. I didn't neglect her on purpose. I did try to get some stuff for her, but it went as you might expect. And with no good secret in sight, I finally gave in and gave Dehya Yelan's one. And so, our team is finally done. Is it dumb? Yes. But you know what I always say, I may be dumb, but at least I'm not stupid. But however stupid this team looks and might be, can it play well? Well, let's take a look. Alright, it's our favorite boss. First Ganyu. Then we burst with Kazuha. Shield up with Yanfei, and then we burst with Dehya. Yeah, tank please. Will protect me from any damage. Like, look at this, it's okay, well, the shield ran out, but you guys get the idea. The shield is cracked. One more charge that should do it. There you go. Then we DPS. And then 10k, 10k, 23k, 10k, 23, 30k. Hey man. And we'll do it all over again. And that is it. Hey man, the team is amazing. Better than I expected, and you know what? Sure, get my rewards. Give me a 3-drop. Okay, fuck you too. And okay, whatever. That's what I get. The boss doesn't like being humiliated. Humiliated, what can I say? Well, that was an experience. How much did we learn? A lot. Is the thing good? Well, we learned a lot. In all seriousness, dealing around 30k damage per punch isn't bad, but Dehya's main problem is her only strength. And that is her punches deal too much damage too quickly, which means she applies pyro too quickly and can get many melts off. However, I'm sure that without our restrictions, the overall damage can skyrocket. A simple casual 4-piece Viridescent can bump up Dehya's numbers to more than 50k, a banner can further increase her damage, and a more consistent cryo applicator will help a lot. I'm not entirely sure what the final numbers might look like, but I'll leave her stats on screen along with the others. All in all, it was a fun challenge. The Pyro Queen finally sits where she deserves, at the top of the damage charts of my account. It's quite fitting, since she's the first character I got on this account. But anyway, as I've said at the beginning, if you have any character you're interested in seeing me build, or a challenge you want me to try, leave your idea in the comments below. And that is all. I will see you all next time.